Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is having a beautiful and blessed weekend and spending it with your loved ones. I hope that your day is going well. I know I have spent my day pretty much spring cleaning and purging my clothes. Sometimes you just have to go through stuff and get rid of stuff that you just know you ain't gonna wear. I have a big habit of wearing a lot of the same stuff over and over again, but I have a lot of clothes that I haven't touched. So I remember reading this thing that said at the beginning of the year, you turn your hangers one way, and then every time you wear something, you turn the hanger the other way. So at the end of the year, you can see just about what you wear and what you don't wear, and then give what you don't wear away. Well, I don't really do that because I pull clothes out per season because I don't really have a whole lot of space. So I just realized that there's a lot of clothes that I just haven't touched just because, I hold on to it for thinking that maybe one day I'll wear it, and then that day just never comes. So I have literally cleaned out a nice little area of my clothing storage. So yay me, I give myself a pat on the back. I'm exhausted, but I wanted to go ahead and make this video really quick before I lay down for the night. Let's go ahead and jump in today's late night tip. Today's affirmation is, I let go of anger. Anger is probably something that I have tried to find different outlets to relieve. I would say probably the suppressed emotions and unexpressed thoughts that were not released towards people that either upset me or pissed me off or broke my heart, or, you know, whatever the situation may have been. It could have been somebody that I didn't even know. It was just a matter that happened, and I had to bite my tongue out of respect, or just the wrong place at the wrong time. And, um, you know, growing up in an abusive household and seeing people fight all the time, it's easy for a child to adapt to that and pick up on that type of attitude and personality trait, and not really have like a positive source in order to expel those emotions. And I think that over time, anger becomes of course, a major issue, not just in a child's life, but in a teenager's life, and then it leads on to adulthood. If we get to that point to where we get so upset at ourselves or another to where we want to be belligerent or violent or abusive or just plain right disrespectful, then we have to really start to check ourselves in the situation and the people that we're around. I feel like when a person has anger issues or releases some type of anger, you really have to check your surroundings and start eliminating one by one, because you want to find the root of to what is causing you to feel that way, whether it be something internal or whether it be something external from you. I think it's important to start eliminating either the crowd that is influencing you to teach you that it's okay to behave that way, or people who allow you and enable you to be that way, even if they don't have anger problems, but somebody who's just like, oh, it's okay, and just lets it slide, instead of helping you find the reason why you feel that way. Or if it's something internally, and of course, I talk a lot about doing internal work, working on yourselves, finding the deep core issues to whatever may make you feel certain ways, and I feel like that's just a main topic for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, there's always something internally you can work on. And anger issues normally, I'd say probably about 76% of the time, come from something internally that is not being expressed in a healthy way. So I would say probably some helpful tips, just for myself, even though anger is something that I will continue to work on, just because I sometimes get frustrated and, express my emotions in ways that I either regret or I have to apologize for, or I just don't quite understand why why I express certain emotions the way that I do. It's something that I'll continue to work on, and something that I won't ever give up on working on, just because I know what it feels like to be on the opposite end of somebody else's anger. And when I catch myself in moments and bits where I am angry myself, I I think it upsets me more and hurts me more whenever I see how I reacted towards somebody who had nothing to do with it. And so, it's something that I want to change, and it's something that will continue to work on. But my meaning and my point was some tips that have worked for me is I have spoken before about breathing techniques. I actually mentioned this in my anxiety video. It's, a helpful routine that allowed me to get through childbirth, and it also helps me get through just those tense moments where I have to just kind of watch what comes out of my mouth or where my mind frame goes. But it is the 4-6-8 breathing rule, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 6 seconds, and exhale for 7 to 8 seconds, whichever, whatever works for you. And if you do this about 4 or 5 times back to back, and you can concentrate on a place or an object that brings you peace and warmth and comfort, or you can focus on the air that you're intaking as it's going through your body and cleansing of all that negativity and that tension, and you're inhaling positivity, and with every exhale you're exhaling all of that tension and frustration. Either way it goes, it works wonders. I know it's easier said than done, but it really is very simple to do, and it really saves you that moment of having to check yourself, or, apologize to people, or just getting in that frame of mind to where you feel like you need to be angry. And, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to be upset. You're not allowed to be angry. Certain matters, it's completely expected and it's completely acceptable. But, you know, I've always learned that being angry and being angry towards others and expressing anger in unhealthy ways can sometimes lead to permanent consequences. And the experiences that happen for me are situations that, when I think back on it, I wish I could have done a little bit differently. And or I feel like that if we understand what causes anger and what causes people to be upset, then you can take matters into your own hands to eliminate the steps that it takes to get to that point. So breathing techniques is one. A second one I would say is exercise. A lot of people I know will actually seek to exercise or yoga or meditation for outlets of releasing anger and frustrations and tension. And that's, I'm not a huge exercise junkie, but I know that whenever I do exercise, it does eliminate a lot of that frustration, and it makes me feel a lot better. I feel like it's like anything that you can take all of that pent up energy that's bottling up inside of you and just like putting it towards something either creative or something that's going to benefit your body, or just anything that's going to keep you away from expressing it and taking it out on somebody that you may care about, because that's the last thing you want to do. And I would say probably the last technique that normally works for me is taking a nap. I know that it sounds silly, you all, but I also like to write. If I'm in my feelings and I feel some type of way, I normally write. It works for me. It may not work for you, and that's not something I do all the time. That's just kind of like a last resort. Like if I just feel spur of the moment, hey, I need to get this off my chest. I don't want to talk about it with anybody. So boom, kind of like release that negativity and let it go. But yeah, so, I take naps. Sometimes I meditate. I definitely, if I feel like I need some guidance, I will pray most definitely. And try my breathing exercises. And sometimes I might just, I don't know. I used to like to go to my grandma's grave whenever I was in my feels and feeling some type of way, and not necessarily when I'm angry, but it's kind of like a calming area for me. I kind of feel like I'm in touch with my grandmother who is in spirit, and that's just kind of like where I like to go whenever I need to clear my head of all frustrations and tension. So, yeah, those are just a few tips for me. They could work for you, but if you have any suggestions, of course, go ahead and comment them down below. But I just want to say that, you know, even if you do the internal work, there's going to be things that are going to piss you off. Like I could be having the most peaceful day, not a thing that's bothering me, no stress, no worries. And I go to the store and somebody says something crazy to me or disrespects my child or just anything just random that could really just set me off and really piss me off to where I want to like retaliate or, say something disrespectful back. Or I don't suggest starting fights with people if they piss you off, but everybody's different. There's going to be situations where, you might have to, take matters into your own hands in a different way. I don't know, to each their own. It's what happens. But my motive and my mission is to help you all along the way of releasing that anger and letting go of what makes you feel that way and what could be the reason why you feel that way. And a big advocate for doing that work inside if it's something that you don't even know where it's coming from. And I've experienced that before where I've gotten angry and I don't even know why. And when you get to that point to where you're angry and you just don't know why, then that's kind of when you got to figure that it's something internally and you got to look into it. But if it's something, it's right there in front of your face, and then that's a different story. You got to be mindful. You got to come from a balanced mind. You got to think positive. You got to think logically about what are the repercussions and consequences of whatever could come out of that anger that you're feeling. So, yeah. So, if you were brought to this video, then this affirmation is for you. I hope all of you all have a great and beautiful rest of your weekend. So much love and light to each and every single one of you all. If you like the content on my page, go ahead and subscribe and like. If you feel like somebody needs this video or this affirmation, go ahead and share. And of course, if you have any comments or questions or anything to add, go ahead and drop them down below. I hope that you all have a blessed night. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks.